What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western Europe Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today once again comes from the Big Ditch Brewing Company, and they're out of Buffalo, New York. And this is their Mudlarked, the Tiramisu variant, and this is the 2022 release. So they're calling this one Imperial Stout with Tiramisu, and then on the back it says brewed with 9 different malts, milk sugar, aka lactose, cocoa nibs, and flavored with a tiramisu. It comes in at 10% alcohol by volume, no IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just over 2.5 months old. So a couple weeks ago, I reviewed their chocolate toffee variant, which was the other variant they released last year in 2022, the day before Thanksgiving here in the US, and it was quite delicious. Very Heath Bauer or Score Bauer-esque. Really enjoyed it, and I like this series just in general. It's really good. So I'm hoping that I get some sweet, creamy coffee vibes to this one. I'm hoping anyway. We will see. So let's crack this one open, get in the glass, and give it a proper review. So we're using the hashtag proper glassware to some extent. It's Big Ditch TQ, so there's that. We'll do something like this. Be able to get my nose in there a little bit. A little bit of a cheap. Didn't really get anything from that. Anyway, yeah, that's beautiful. Deep, dark, almost pitch black. It's going to be more of a deep, dark brown, but it's going to look pitch black on camera. And honestly, kind of pitch black to some degree, but I know it's more of a darker brown. Had just over a finger of a straight up brown colored head. A very creamy looking. It's sticking around. Yeah, plays the role. It's good nose. And, it's in the hot hashtag proper glassware, of course. So it doesn't matter. Wow. So tiramisu, yes, like it has that sweet kind of creamy coffee you get from tiramisu. But then there's a ton of chocolate. There's like a pastry kind of feeling to this one, like almost like a cakey kind of vibe. Vanilla for sure. Yeah, the chocolate's like a sweet milk chocolate as well. Oh, this smells awesome. The one issue right out of the gate might be a bit too sweet. I mean, it is 10%, tiramisu, 9 different malts, cocoa nibs, lactose. But man, yeah, it smells like you took a big chocolatey Imperial Stout and just like threw tiramisu right in there. Like it just is. It's beautiful. There's a nice roasted malt character as well. But every time I go back, I just get like sweeter coffee vibes. Yeah, smells awesome. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. All right, nose was a little bit better, but the taste is still really good. The nose, though, it was tiramisu, for sure, in an Imperial Stout. The taste, a little bit more nuanced, like coffee and like pastry vibes to this one. Bite in this one, also not, I feel like this and the chocolate toffee variant of this past year isn't as thick as the prior releases, especially the peanut butter and marshmallow one that I reviewed. Those, the bodies were just insanely thick, like some of the thickest bodies I've had in Imperial Stout in a hot minute, especially for 10%. This is like lower side of full body, where those were like straight on full body. So maybe appropriate for the ABV, although maybe a bit thin, but it's not like thin per se. It's just thin to what the other variants in the past have been. The mouthfeel has a mild to moderate carbonation, has a nice smoothness to it, but it's not really all that creamy. The taste, roasted malt at the forefront. Right after that, I get like a deep dark cherry. Definitely like a dark kind of stone fruit vibe. Then I get hit with chocolate, and it's more like a dark chocolate, like a sweeter dark chocolate. And then that combines with the coffee. And I would just say mocha. I wouldn't say tiramisu. It just has like a mocha vibe to it. There's a little bit of vanilla after that. I would say what the nose was giving me was more tiramisu, sweet, creamy kind of coffee with like, you kind of knew it was like a pastry to some degree, right? Or a dessert, where the taste isn't as desserty, which might be welcome to some, but like I kind of wanted the tiramisu. If they could have got the tiramisu full flavor in here without it being overly sweet, I think that'd be impressive, because I don't think this one's all that, like this is sweet. It's not crazy sweet. On the finish, it has a little bit of like a kind of an earthy bitterness, and This one has a very slight dryness and mild bitterness. So it definitely is sweeter. It's not cloying, but it's a sweeter beer. It's a 10% Imperial Stout with tiramisu. You kind of imagine it's going to be sweet. It's just not, it's sweet for a beer, but like it's not pastry-esque sweet, just because I don't think you're getting all of the characteristics that they're kind of saying with tiramisu. So I would say without question, the chocolate coffee one was my jam in comparison to this one. If you don't like chocolate toffee, you're not a fan of toffee in general, then this is probably the one that you would prefer. I think I like the chocolate toffee one a little bit more. It's not bad at all, though. I mean, it's like actually pretty good. It's just, and this happens a lot with beers in general nowadays. Oh, look at that, right to the top. I mean, I think the problem, I want to take a bigger sip to see if that helped anything. I think the problem with so many of these beers is like, you look at the ingredients, you look at the label, and it gets you excited. But a lot of times these beers don't nail exactly what they say on the label. And I think a lot of us would agree that, you're sometimes disappointed. Is this a good beer? Yes. Is it tasty? Yeah. Did they nail an Imperial Stout with tiramisu? Not for me. Like, if you said Imperial Stout with mocha or mocha Imperial Stout, I think I would get on board a little bit more for this one. Because the tiramisu isn't really doing what I necessarily want from it, you know what I mean? But anyway, at the end of the day, it's a pretty good beer. But I'm going to have to give this an appropriate score and be honest and just say this is the Mudlarked Tiramisu variant 2022 release, a 4 out of 5. That's what this beer is. That's not a bad score in the least. It's just probably my least favorite in the series of the ones I've had next to the Marshmallow. Again, not bad beers per se. I shouldn't even say per se. That they're not bad beers. They're just, they didn't nail what they're going for me personally, and others in the style are better. In order for me, it'd be peanut butter, chocolate toffee, marshmallow, and then this one. But they're all 4 out of 5 or higher. I did not try the banana coconut one. Price point availability at the brewery, I think these were like $23 a 4-pack. I picked a 4-pack up at Premier Gourmet in Amherst, New York. It's $23.99, so a buck extra. Didn't have to go with the brewery. Not a bad price point, $6 for something that's 10% tiramisu flavoring and 9 different malts and lactose and cocoa nibs and stuff. I think that's pretty good. And availability, this is probably not available in many spots, although I was just at Premier locally. So if you're a local viewer who watches these Western New York Wednesdays, they still had 4-packs of this on the shelf. So you could still get this one if you want to try it. I don't know if Big Ditch still has these on hand, but they might. They do, I'm pretty sure, maybe not for these, but Big Ditch does, I think, ship throughout New York State. But I don't know if it was for I think the cans they do, but just not the bottle. So if they still have them on their website in your New York State, you can pick this up. And at some point, Big Dish will get distro outside of New York State. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. 10%, I'm getting a big warming in the chest. And I'm feeling it a little boozy, but nothing on the palate, which is nice. Pretty good overall, just not exactly what I was hoping for. Although, I will say, that last sip, maybe the tiramisu's coming out. Now, I had this in my stout, I had this in my colder fridge up until yesterday. I knew I was going to review this to one today. I put it in my darker beer fridge, which is 54 degrees. So this one's probably close to 60 degrees at this point. Maybe it just needed to open up in the glass to get that tiramisu. But it's getting a little bit more tiramisu as I continue to drink on it in that last sip. So still, I'm going to still stick with a 4 out of 5. But at the end of the day, it's a good beer. And yeah, I'm done. Anyway, shut it down. Check back next Wednesday for another Western New York Wednesday. Appreciate it. Cheers.